Hey, what's up? I'm Brett with Premier Guitar. I'm here in Mundelein, Illinois at US Music. I'm with Dave Vogel. Dave's got definitely what I would call one of the coolest jobs in America. Tell us a little bit about what you do, dude.
Basically, I take the guitar ideas from the owner of the company and I lay them out onto a 2D AutoCAD layout, laying out basic specs.
And tell us just a little bit about CAD.
Yeah, this is actually AutoCAD here, which is like the real basic 2D system to where where I start all the basic designs, getting shapes set up. Then from this point on, I take it to much more complex software and much more modern. It's a program called SolidWorks.
Sure, and boom, now it's starting to look like a guitar.
And how this all starts is this is all based off of sketches that are from the previous drawing. Let me see if I can get something opened here pretty quick. Like everything will actually come in as a sketch, as a certain part. And this part will be taken from my AutoCAD file. This route will be brought in to SolidWorks, into here, and then as it's placed as a sketch, you extrude it into a solid. And you'll see how that cavity will be routed out. So every cavity, every cut, every surface is all taken from the AutoCAD dimension 2D drawing to a 3D surface model such as this. And I take it actually to a full assembly as well, where I'll put the parts into the model.
So at what point do you actually start bringing in the tool path and telling the CNC machine how to do its job?
That is basically done. After I get to this point, then I got to show it to, Rudy and Terry, get approval and bill able, see if this is what they're actually looking for. If everything's all going good and this is what they want, then I'll bring it into a program called Mastercam, which is one of the leading cam softwares I think out there today. I'll say it's the best. I love it. You bring the actual model into Mastercam. Now, this is every part. SolidWorks is you can have multiple parts, but you only machine one part at a time. So I bring each part into Mastercam, and this is the same actual model that you'll see here. Then what I do from that point is I'll begin to apply tool paths to this part to actually machine it out there. But it's actually not quite that simple. To machine a part in a CNC machine, you also have to design a fixture.
Sure.
Hold the part down. And you have to draw templates and stuff for the guys in the shop to prepare the blanks. This particular guitar, if you noticed, has chambers on it over here. So it actually goes on as a rough mahogany blank. It gets chambered out, and it gets glued up with a maple cap, depending flame or plane on the model that we're doing, the 570, 580, or 590. Then once it's glued up, then it comes pretty much back to this point where I start actually machining the model. And this is a process that you pretty much have to, it depends on experience and how long you've been doing it, because you have a lot of decisions. You have different tool paths that you're able to use to decide how you want to cut it out. And basically there is contour, drill pass, pocketing, facing. And like I said, I'll actually run you through one tool path of putting one on here real quickly. Say you want to cut out this pocket. I want to pocket this out right here.
And that pocket's for the bridge humbucker.
It's for the bridge humbucker. Okay. Basically, what I do is the first thing I do is I select what I want to pocket, what tool path I want to use, which is a pocket tool path. From this point, I have a tool library that is enormous and has every kind of tool in the world. So I got to decide I want to use a flat end mill, ball end mill, what size end mill, half inch, what direction flute, what direction cutter, how many flutes, and this all depends on what material I'm cutting, how fast I want to cut it, and how accurate cut I want. So once I've decided what tool I want to use, and make sure I actually have the tool here, then I go on to setting feeds and speeds, which you'll see when we go out to the shop. That's how fast the tool, you can get a better representation here, how fast the tool goes over to the pocket, how fast it goes down until what we call a plunge rate. So it'll wrap it over fast, and it'll get to a point where I tell it how far off the part to slow down. Mm-hmm. Then I tell it how fast I go in and how fast it actually decides.
And when you're talking about telling a tool how far off the part to slow down, that's so you can avoid tear out and things like that.
And that's so I don't got to go over really slow, and my boss comes over and go, why is the machine?
Why isn't this thing rocking? I'm not making enough guitars. Sure.
And then the other choice you have is how you want to pocket it. You have very different various different ways. And this is the very basic. I mean, there's probably 20 different types of pocket tool paths that I can use.
Sure, and that's
probably 30 different methods. So, like I said, this is just depends on what CNC machine you have, your shop conditions.
Yep.
But I will run through this through every single cavity that I want to route. Sometimes it's a contour. Sometimes it could be the actual surface path that actually does the whole top surface.
So it does basically an entire set of maneuvers as one order of direction.
You see here, I line them up as tool paths, so I can have. Sometimes I've got 8, sometimes I've got 50, depending on how detailed I want to get. And and every tool path has a different route of menus, different choices. Okay, what we have here now is after I'm all finished with all my programming, I'm able to verify the actual job that I've done to make sure I'm not going to have any problems. So I'm able to watch it machine the whole entire part through with tool changes and everything.
And then you can make revisions to your order of command, etc.
And what this will do is hopefully avoid me, wasting company time and material.
Yeah, or, wrecking some killer wood.
Exactly.
So, hey, man, let's take a walk out to the shop and see this thing in action.
All right. So now what we've got going here is the first position of our WI-70 body running on the CNC machine here. After it's completed over here, it will then go on to the different CNC machine, and the front carve will get done along with all the necessary pockets.
So this tool path that's happening right now, is it going to cut the entire top in one session?
Yes, it's going to do the whole entire carve all in one path, all the details around the knobs and the upper carves on the horn. Then it'll grab a different tool and continuing pocketing.
So, and you mentioned what kind of bit is on right now?
Yeah, that's a ball end mill that we're doing. It's cutting the maple top, rounded tip, so I can achieve rounded contours in the top.
So it's kind of a gradient or a cascade. So it'll grab different tools when you go to do the humbucker route, correct?
Exactly, humbucker, pickup, and of course control knobs. It will grab different tools depending on what it's doing.
Well, that's way cool, man. So Dave, now we're back in your office, and here's the guitar after it came off the guitar body, if you will, after it came off the CNC machine, and this is what it looks like when it's all done. Tell me a little bit about some of the marks in the pencil and.
Yeah, basically what's going on here now is it's going through a QC process. So every route, every hole, every depth, everything will be checked. Parts will be installed, and that's what the process you see right now. Yeah, the back looks pretty good. Everything will be checked. Once everything is verified, then we go and start the run.
Yeah, and there you go. It must be pretty cool to see your work come from concept to screen to on the machine, and then boom, here's the guitar.
Yeah, it is kind of rewarding to actually see it from the very beginning, to see the part out to the end.
Well, hey, Dave, thanks so much for giving us the inside look at U.S. music. And I'm Brett. You're watching PremierGuitar.com.